Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, ताज इंग्लिश एकेडमी और मेरी तरफ से डॉक्टर ताज फिरदौसी की तरफ से आप सबको सलाम, खुशामदीद फॉर दिस चैनल इंग्लिश। इस चैनल में मैं इस वक्त मुखातिब कर रहा हूँ, ये हाई लेवल पे आते हैं हम, इसे हम कहेंगे प्रोफेशंसी लेवल और एडवांस्ड लेवल के दरमियान। ये उन लोगों के लिए है जो ग्रेजुएट्स हैं, जिन्होंने डिग्रियां हासिल की हैं। जहाँ कहीं भी उन लोगों को बात करने के लिए स्टेज पे जाते हैं लेक्चर्स के लिए, उनके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप देखते हैं कि ऐसी कौन सी बात है जो ग्रेजुएट्स को इंग्लिश की क्या ज़रूरत पड़ गई। ग्रेजुएट्स को इंग्लिश इसलिए ज़रूरत पड़ती है कि उन्हें लिखना पड़ता है रिपोर्ट्स, उन्हें लिखनी पड़ती है थीसिस, उन्हें लिखनी पड़ती हैं बड़ी बड़ी प्रोग्राम्स के सिलसिले में। नेक्स्ट, और उनको ज़रूरत पड़ती है स्टेज पे प्रेजेंटेशंस करने के लिए और कम्युनिकेशन के लिए, बातचीत के लिए। चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। प्रोफिशिएंसी लेवल, द टॉप लेवल प्रोफिशिएंसी फॉर ग्रेजुएट्स एंड पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट्स। Now, we are going to start everything in English. It was only just an introduction in the beginning. In my introduction, I told you that I am going to speak in English only for the people of higher levels. Only for the basic, I am going to speak in Urdu or Hindi. Now, no more Hindi or no more Urdu. We are going to start everything in English. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, let us start. Whenever you have to speak, it's a kind of a communication. Let's try to understand what's the meaning of communication. What's a language? What do you think a language is? Can you think? Can you define? Language. Language is a medium of what? Of communication. Communication of what? Sending your ideas to the listener, to the other people. So you got something in your head. You have created that idea. It is there in your head. And you want to convey this. You want to send this to your friend. If your communication is poor, you want to say something and he will understand something else. There are many different stories. People wanted to convey the message and the message was not a little bit different, but totally it was opposite. It was a misleading factor because the man was right, the listener was also right, but the problem was the way the communication was done through the speaker. So what's the wrong? What could be the reason for the wrong communication? When it is written, there is no work of sounds. It's only just your writing, grammar, structures, style of writing. And if it is a communication through your voice, then that's the sound that you produce. Anybody can say, Dr. Firdausi, I'm a graduate, I'm a postgraduate, I have done and passed in distinction. So I can communicate to anyone. So what's the problem in your saying that communication is important for the graduates and postgraduates and professionals? The answer is very simple. Let me start. Just now I said, language is the means of communication, sending your ideas to the listener. The ideas, if not delivered properly, only part of your message is conveyed. It's like iceberg, which appears only 30% and 70% is inside water, which you can't see. If your communication is bad, only 30% or 20% or 40%, the listener who could understood that. That's all. Only the remaining 70 to 80% is gone with the wind, finished. Gone. So, how is the communication? We are doing all. Every day we go and we talk with our friends. So what's the problem? The problem is the problem, my dear friends. Let's try to understand the language, communication of ideas through the medium of sound. And when you use a language, it has its own way, it has its own presentation of the sounds. For example, if it is Quran, it is not Quran, Quran. And if you want to say something like alaq, falaq, these are huruf al-qalqala. These are the sounds. Khalid, kha. KH is the sound, kha, kha. And if it is Rahman, it is not Rahman, 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 not man, man. Look at these sounds. Even if you just look at this very first ayah, the first line in every surah of Quran, it is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And how many people say it wrongly, pronounce it wrongly? They say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. No. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. No. It is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ha and ha. Allah, Billah. If there is anything like bi, min, fi before Allah is Allah. If there is something like qasr, it is Allah, not Allah. Illallah. See the difference? That's the difference. When a real native speaker of Arabic speaks, he says, Wallah, Ya Habibi, Wallah, not Wallah, Wallah. And how many people speak Urdu even in the wrong way when they say, Allah Ta'ala. I don't know what Ta'ala. I only know that one Ta'ala is there, Aligarh ka Ta'ala. That's the Locks Ta'ala. And I know only Allah, not Allah. Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala. I can't understand how people can't even pronounce the name of Allah. They can't even pronounce the name of our Prophet. They say Muhammad. It is not Muhammad, Muhammad. You may think that what happened to Dr. Taj Firdausi, he started teaching Arabic. Ladies and gentlemen, my second language is Arabic. I studied Arabic right from high school. And I did my post-graduation in Urdu, in English, and post-graduation in teaching, and post-graduation in presentations, and PhD in teaching. Let me not repeat again what my qualifications are. It is only to make you sure that the speaker, that the one you are listening to, is not just one who stands in front of you to speak about some sort of a thing as a big learned man. He is a qualified person who has the authority. So let me tell you, let me start with. So your ideas, when you present it, as I said, in Arabic, it is its own perfect way we have to speak. And if there is in English, you have to speak in English. Phonetic sounds, phonetics, voice, avaz, found, where it comes from. It should be in the same way. Not way, way. That's right, not that is right. Is it right? I can't understand how people speak like that. That's the way. Well, let me tell you now, we have to start from the beginning. Whenever you speak, you have to speak only in the native speaker's style. That is the way. Who is the native speaker? There are two. Either you have to use English, spoken English, or American. Many people say American, British or American. British accents, American accents, both are okay. Well, doctor, what's that British or American? Which do we have to follow? Are there differences? There are some. What differences are there? British English is very, very archaic, very old and old. Even it is 1,000 years old. American is not that old. Only that language was developed when Americans inhabited. So what's the difference? The difference is the way British or Americans say. Which one is correct? Both are right. Either you say this or that. That's all. In my next class, I'm going to tell you which are the words British English they use and which are the words that are used in American one for the same thing, for the same word, for the same thing. Two different words, and easily we can make out. Okay, now let me start with the first lesson today. Whenever you speak, you must see that the sound is produced exactly in the way that the native speakers speak. For your information and for your convenience, I'm going to use both American and British together, because now wherever you go, you see the people either from US or from Britain, and you can understand both. At the same time, both are right, both are correct. There is no difference. They can easily accept that, and those people will accept this, but not the third language. There is no Pakistani English, Indian English, Ceylon English, Filipino English, Chinese English. In fact, people use their own languages. Very much in India, there are about 840 languages in India, and every area wise the people speak English through their language. They use, for example, Tamil, they use English through Tamil. Kannada, they use English through Kannada. North Indians, they use through Hindi, English through Hindi, English through Kannada, English through Tamil, English through Philippines language, English through Chinese. They communicate to some extent, but it looks very ridiculous. That's not the right way. The exact way is you have to say, you have to present it perfectly. You should know whether you are a graduate or a postgraduate or you are PhD doctor in any other subject. It doesn't matter. Your position, your communication, your value is counted on the way that you speak. So, we shall start with the first thing, that's called the first things first. We will look into English with proper pronunciation. Start with number 1, syllables. Take the syllables, divide the word into syllables, stressed, unstressed, which I'm going to explain to you in the next class. You have to keep your notebook and pen, and then I will explain to you how the language, the words, the sentences, the phrases have to be spoken. What are diphthongs, what are syllables, and what are the stressed and unstressed in my next lecture. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe this channel, Taj English Academy, and please pass it on to your friends and make it as much famous as possible through your hands. And please remember, not only I'm going to give the lessons on phonetics, I'm going to give the lessons on grammar and even the stylistics and presentation skills. That is the last one for proficiency level, of highest level presentation skills. That's for the people who have the business, who go around and then who give presentations in seminars and all that. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Pray for me, and hopefully we are going to gain a lot and a lot and a lot. It all depends on the number of viewers I get That's another point that's very important. If you want to make my lessons regularly on the YouTube channel, it's in your hand. You have to subscribe, make it famous, and see that you are with me. And in a very short time, you are going to speak like a native speaker, like your friend, like your teacher, Dr. Taj Firdausi. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.